Hey guys, welcome to this video. Basically, the reason why I'm doing this video is to share with you my opinion on the Metoo Tony Robbins event matter that took place about a week ago at UPW. Now, I wasn't actually there, so I can't comment on the whole seminar or anything, but I can share with you what I did see in the video and also my perspective on the matter itself. So firstly, I want to say that I completely respect women, and I have been married for 14 years and I'm happily married and I really love women. So I really want to say I'm not here to attack anybody. However, I do want to basically say that, no matter how thin you slice bread, there's always going to be two sides to the story. So at the moment I can see that Tony's probably being dragged through the mud in certain people's eyes, and I think that that's probably a little snapshot for what might be happening in society itself at the moment. If you look at the culture, the way things are, you'll find that there's a cultural hypnosis. And what I mean by that is, look at men at the moment. They're probably being conditioned to become more feminine, in a sense, lose their masculinity. And one way that's happening is emasculation. Men are being told how they should behave, and everything. And, Tony, I can see in the video, a lot of women are actually saying that, the way he was behaving, the way he was standing, the way he was talking. Tony's a very masculine guy. And I think that, this might be, a way that, men are, in a sense, being kind of conditioned to be taught this is how you should behave and this is how you shouldn't behave. So, however, although there's a certain sense of helping men to become more respectful, I think that we're crossing a line and kind of going towards the territory of controlling them. And that's definitely a form of emasculation that's taking place. So I think that there's got to be a healthy way to, show the equality between men and women. At the same time, women are probably losing their femininity in a sense, and they're becoming more masculine. So, I've got nothing against women playing sport or anything like that, and and getting tattoos or whatever. But there's definitely you can see that in our culture. They're taking on more things that used to be more men-based. Women are starting to do that too, and there's nothing wrong with that. Completely nothing wrong with that. However, I'm just being aware that there's actually a cultural condition that's taking place at the moment in our culture, that men are becoming more feminine and women are becoming more masculine. And, at what cost does that take place? And once again, I'm not here to attack anyone. I'm just here to make us aware that this is actually taking place. And, I can tell you, as far as Tony Robbins events go, I've been to 3 of his events, one being Date with Destiny and 2 being, went to UPW twice. And I can tell you that, he's a very masculine guy, and he's there to create, transformation with people. And I would say that video has probably been taken out of context, in a sense that that's just Tony. Tony's always, been one to stand tall, be strong, and the way he probably spoke to that woman was probably very similar the whole time, over 4 days. Yet that one event has been taken out, and he's been attacked for that. So, so be it. He's, maybe he crossed the line, maybe he did, I'm not sure, but it's in a sense, I can see a lot of women getting upset about it, and fair enough, they're getting upset about that, and maybe he did speak in a way that wasn't great. Maybe that was the case, but however, if you're going to blame someone for something they did wrong, what about blaming them for the things they did right? I remember being at Date with Destiny with Tony, and it's amazing the changes he took place. There was one woman there who was having trouble with her boyfriend, and he spent, I think, 3 or 4 hours helping her to, get that relationship right back on track. 4 hours of his time just really helping her, and he helped so many women in that seminar. It was incredible. He turned broken marriages right around, and his ability to create change with people is amazing. So I think to point out like one 15-minute video where how he may have been disrespectful is, a little bit unfair, because there's so much stuff that he's done right, and that's assuming that he did something wrong in this 15-minute video, right? Assuming he did something wrong, okay, let's acknowledge that if he did, and also say, he's done so much amazing over the years. I can speak from my experience, and other people I know have been directly impacted by Tony, let alone the millions of people around the world. So if we're going to blame him for something that he did wrong, let's also acknowledge him for the millions of things he's probably done amazingly well, right? So I think you've got to take things, in perspective, right? And also, like I was saying before, let's move on in terms of, let's try and create a culture that supports healthy relationships. Because at the moment, I think that we're focusing on, the idea of helping, change men or whatever it might be. But like I said before, no matter how thin you slice bread, there's always going to be two sides. So the idea is to create healthy relationships. How do we help create healthy relationships? Because this world isn't just ours, it's going to be for our children and our children's children. So, what kind of world do we want to create? One that's just supporting equality, or supporting, whatever it might be, or do we want to have healthy relationships? Ways that couples can come together and support each other and give each other the needs that they're after, rather than saying, you did this, you did that. What about us all taking responsibility and creating a healthy relationship? I think that's kind of where we want to take it. If not, well, where do we want to take the movement, the Me Too movement? I'm not sure where we want to actually lead that to. What end result do we want from the Me Too movement? Because if it's after, men treating women fairly, well then, I think that we need to find a way to create healthy relationships. And that's a two-way street. For a healthy relationship to happen, a woman has to meet the man's needs, and a man needs to meet the woman's needs, or whatever sex they might be. So it's really about creating healthy relationships. And I think that's what we want to do. Or at least, I think that's going to be one of the most successful approaches with creating a better tomorrow. All right, so thanks for listening, guys, if you got this far into the video. And hey, awesome. I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I didn't mean to, but I do want to basically just share my point of view rather than writing some comments on other people's videos. So thanks for listening, and have a great day. See you guys.